Hi guys. As you can see, I decided to do athlete leadership as my topic for this paper. As a coach in this generation, it is very hard to find athletes that are willing to work hard to become the athlete that they aspire to be. Some of the athletes think that they are maybe entitled to have a starting spot, even if they are not the best player or the hardest worker out there. A lot of the time, this has to do with how they were raised and the type of leaders that they have encountered in sport up until this point. In general, leaders influence people and groups of people towards certain goals and visions for the future. While some people are natural leaders and easily take their place in a group as the person in charge, others are chosen by a group. Some leaders are more task-oriented and other leaders are more person-oriented, but effective sports leaders tend to be a combination of both. They're not only interested in training, performance, and winning, but also in interpersonal relationships with team members. The purpose of this mixed methods case study will be to understand the leadership in athletes in volleyball. At this stage of research, leadership will be generally defined as the action of influencing fellow teammates in a competitive environment. The cases presented, as well as the method of research, will answer how having athlete leadership contributes to team cohesion and overall success of a team. There are four main themes to look at when you're talking about athlete leadership in sport: leadership development, characteristics of leaders in sport, behaviors in leaders, and types of athlete leaders. The first theme is leadership development. The synopsis of the articles involved talking about how important it is to have future leadership, have guidance as to how to become a great leader. The articles also advise how to train high-level athletes, how to become a great leader, and how to develop your own identity as a leader. Second theme is characteristics of leaders in sport. Every leader has a specific set of characteristics and qualities that make them the leaders that they are. The studies discussed in this section present different characteristics of leaders as well as differences in leadership styles and how these characteristics help them lead their teams to success. The third theme is behavior of leaders. Similar to characteristics of leaders, there are certain behaviors that leaders take on in order to lead a team to success. Different leadership styles cause athletes to behave in different ways, all of which affect teams differently. And then the fourth theme is types of athlete leaders. The two main types of leaders that are discussed within this theme are informal and formal leadership. The focus is on how you determine which type of leader you are and how these types of leaders affect the team in a positive way. For my methods, my participants for this study will include 12 athletes from Minnesota State University Mankato volleyball team. There will be 2 surveys given to the 12 participants at the beginning, middle, and end of the season. A qualitative interview will be given at the beginning and end of the season, and then a win-loss record will determine their success rate. As for the instruments, the first survey is the team cohesiveness evaluation, which uses a rating system. This consists of 5 questions covering goal setting, communication, trust, mutual accountability, and perceptions. The youth environment questionnaire uses the Likert scale. Even though they have dubbed this the youth environment questionnaire, it can be used for any age group. This survey is made up of 9 questions that ask about the athlete's feelings towards their team. The qualitative interview is 12 open-ended questions that will give a general look at what these athletes consider qualities of an athlete. It will also reveal if they think of themselves as a leader on the team. And then the win-loss record is pretty self-explanatory. The more wins, the higher the success rate. The data analysis. A team cohesiveness evaluation will be analyzed by taking each person's survey, totaling it, and interpreting the number. The higher the number, the more cohesive that individual thinks the team is. The Youth Sport Environment Questionnaire will be analyzed by totaling the number at the end, and then the higher the number, the closer that individual thinks the team is socially. The interview will be conducted with each individual separately. It will be recorded with a voice recorder and run through a computer data analysis program that will code data. It will be looking for patterns in each recording that the participants reveal. And finally, the win-loss record will be analyzed strictly numerically, the amount of wins versus the amount of losses. Theoretical and practical implications. Athlete leadership is enormously important to a coach and others on the team to have, because it can drastically change the way a season goes and ends. Being able to recognize behaviors and characteristics that are present in great leaders can help coaches understand and utilize these athletes not only to their full potential as players, but also as leaders. A coach may not always be aware that there are different kinds of leadership styles. Sometimes coaches are oblivious to the fact that great athletes with an impressive amount of skill may not always be the best team leader. If teammates do not respect someone in a leadership role, they will not have great team cohesion and most likely not have a great success rate. This is why it is important for coaches to know about informal and formal leadership. One deals with the relationships of the team, and others leads by skill and respect. To have a leader with both leadership styles is pretty ideal. Finally, in sports, usually the leader is the coach, but sometimes certain players are appointed team leaders and must possess some of the same leadership characteristics as an effective coach. Coaches and team leaders are typically respected by other team members not only for their sports skills and abilities, but also for other qualities such as responsibility, work ethic, and attitude. Coaches and other sport leaders must lead by example most of all, and must own and demonstrate the same qualities they expect from their team members. Successful sport leaders possess characteristics they want to see in others, such as confidence, discipline, and self-control. Having strong athlete leadership on a team is important because it creates strong team cohesion, confidence within the team, and also leads to a higher success rate. Athlete leadership is definitely something that is not easy to come by. Finding an athlete with the right characteristics and behavior that makes people want to follow them is difficult, but can be practiced and improved. Having athlete leadership on your team not only improves the cohesion of the team, but also helps with the overall success rate of the team.